9:53 exactly. We on to our final interview for the morning. We have about 5 minutes in which to talk to Professor Faizal Bux. He is at the he's actually the director at the Institute for Water and Wastewater Technology based at the University of Durban, obviously. And he is talking to us about the recent spike in COVID-19 cases. We spoke to him in the past, and he gave us a fascinating outline on how they, as scientists, are able to track different diseases that is spiking up in different parts of the country through their scientific work, the water works. Let's hear what the findings are currently and what has caused the spike. Professor Faizal Bux, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the program.
Wa alaikum salam, and thank you for the opportunity, Judy.
Always a pleasure. Is this a worrying situation? How alarmingly high is the spike?
Okay, so let me give you some background. In Durban and surrounding areas, we had experienced civil unrest. It was during the week of the 12th to the 17th of July. And what we noticed that prior to the unrest, the clinically confirmed cases, the data provided to us by the Department of Health Provincial, was in the region of, the average per day was in the region of 1,366 cases. And then post-unrest, towards the end of July, those numbers had increased to around 2,239. And on the 5th of August, those numbers had increased even further. So those are clinically confirmed cases. So concurrently, as I mentioned to you guys in the past, that we test wastewater.
Right.
And what we have found that in the wastewater, prior to the unrest, the numbers that we have found was in the region of 2 million copies per 100 moles of wastewater. And I'm talking about gene copies. And post-unrest, around the 27th of July onwards, the numbers had increased to more than 12,000, in the region of 12,700. Sorry, not 12,000, 12,700 copies per 100 moles. So that's like close to a six-fold increase. And that is why that certainly is a cause of concern. So our data has been sent to the relevant authorities for them to act on.
But it was expected, was it not, Professor, when we saw footage of the riots taking place in KZN, nobody was masked up, and they were all in such close proximity of each other. And I think way back then, people were already predicting that they're going to be seeing a huge spike in that part of the world.
Absolutely. You know, during that week, I mean, most of the diagnostic laboratories were closed. And therefore, the numbers that we were getting were clearly, not the accurate representation of what had happened. And so, from the time a person gets infected it takes approximately about a week before if they do become symptomatic, where they show the symptoms. Some people are even asymptomatic. So, that could have happened. And, and that is why there are limitations on the actual clinical testing. However, when it comes to wastewater, if you're infected, you're going to pass it out, you're going to shed the virus in your stool.
Right.
And, we definitely did to pick it up then. Yeah, I agree completely. There was certainly flouting of lockdown regulations during the mayhem that happened for that week. And that certainly could have led to, increase in infections.
And how very irresponsible. Not only would the looters or rioters be impacted, it's going to impact so very many more people and create a further burden on our health services.
Absolutely.
That being said, Professor, we've been hearing from the experts that here in South Africa, we are expecting a possible fourth wave round about December. Now, these sort of mutterings were being made a month or two ago. With the current situation now in KZN, and possibly will start sprouting up in other parts of the country as well, where there was unrest, do you predict that wave will present sooner sooner than December?
It's really hard to say at this stage. I mean, we have the epidemiologists and the public health experts that actually predict and model the actual trajectory of the pandemic. So at this stage, I've been hearing about it as well, that they're expecting a fourth wave in December. But, to date, this viral epidemic has been so unpredictable. We don't know for sure.
Right.
I mean, this is simply models that are predicting this to happen. But, as in our province, we had the civil unrest, and that was not planned, and certainly led to an event that magnified the numbers of infections in the community. So, no, we don't know enough about the virus at this stage.
Absolutely. So it's just a wait and see game.
Absolutely.
And we rely on the scientists like yourselves to give us all the data and update us, and hopefully that will keep us safe, inshallah. Thank you for your time.
Only a pleasure.
You go well, and salaam alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you. Bye.
That was Professor